Imagine a routine night in a California hospital. A patient arrives, gasping for breath, fighting cancer. Doctors rush to save her life. But then, something unthinkable happens. As they draw her blood, an ammonia-like stench fills the air. Her skin glistens with an oily sheen. A strange yellowish crystal floats in her blood. One by one, nurses and doctors collapse. Dizziness, muscle spasms. Some faint on the spot. One lands in the ICU for weeks. The patient dies within 45 minutes. But the real question remains. What made Gloria Ramirez so deadly that night? This is the story of the woman the world would later call the Toxic Lady. Part 1. Who was Gloria Ramirez? Gloria Cecilia Ramirez was born on January 11, 1963, in Riverside, California. By her early 30s, she was known as a cheerful, loving mother of two. But in 1994, her life was turned upside down when she was diagnosed with advanced cervical cancer. The disease was aggressive. By February that year, her condition had worsened. She needed constant medical attention and pain relief just to get through each day. No one could have imagined that Gloria, a kind and ordinary woman, would soon become the center of one of the most baffling medical mysteries in modern history. Part 2. The night of February 19th, 1994. It was the evening of February 19th, 1994. Gloria's family rushed her to Riverside General Hospital's emergency room. She was in critical condition. Her blood pressure was dangerously low, her heartbeat irregular, and she struggled to breathe. Her speech was confusing and slurred. The ER staff acted quickly, preparing to stabilize her. But as they began their routine treatment, the night turned into a scene straight out of a medical thriller. Part 3. Strange signs during treatment. Several nurses noticed something odd about Gloria. Her skin had a slight oily sheen, as if covered by a thin layer of grease. A faint, fruity, almost garlic-like odor came from her breath. When a nurse inserted a needle to draw blood, the room filled with a sharp, ammonia-like smell. To everyone's shock, the blood sample wasn't normal. Floating in the vial were tiny yellowish manila crystals. Before anyone could react further, the medical team started to feel strange. Nurse Susan Kane complained of lightheadedness and nausea. Another nurse suddenly fainted on the floor. A respiratory therapist began to shake uncontrollably, as if in a seizure. Within minutes, 23 out of the 37 people present in the ER showed symptoms. 5 were hospitalized, and one nurse, Gail, had to spend weeks in the intensive care unit. As chaos spread, the staff tried to save both Gloria and their own colleagues. But at 8:50 p.m., just 45 minutes after she arrived, Gloria Ramirez was pronounced dead. Her official cause of death: complications of late-stage cervical cancer and kidney failure. Yet the bigger mystery was clear. Why had so many healthy doctors and nurses collapsed simply by being near her? Part 4. The aftermath and investigations. The hospital was stunned. The ER was declared a hazard zone. Parts of it were evacuated and closed off for cleanup. The Riverside County Department of Health launched an investigation. Theories started swirling. Some doctors suspected a toxic chemical had somehow built up in Gloria's body due to her cancer treatment or pain medications. Others thought it might have been an unknown infectious disease, but nothing added up. Gloria's family was devastated. They wanted answers and felt that the system was blaming Gloria instead of finding the truth. The hospital workers who had fallen ill described their ordeal: dizziness, shortness of breath, convulsions. These were not mild symptoms. Something had clearly gone wrong. Part 5. The leading theories. As scientists dug deeper, 2 main theories emerged. Theory 1, mass psychogenic illness. Some experts argued that the ER staff's reaction was psychological. Triggered by stress, fear, and suggestion, this theory claimed there was no actual toxin. It was a kind of mass panic that caused fainting and other symptoms. Theory 2, the DMSO arrow, dimethyl sulfate hypothesis. Others proposed a chemical explanation. Gloria reportedly used DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, a common solvent sometimes used as a home remedy for pain. Under certain hospital conditions, like the presence of oxygen and electrical shocks from defibrillation, DMSO might have been converted into dimethyl sulfate, a highly toxic gas. This gas could explain the ammonia smell and the mass poisoning symptoms. But even this theory was controversial. No direct evidence of dimethyl sulfate was ever found in Gloria's body. To this day, neither theory has been universally accepted. Part 6, the unsolved mystery. Nearly 3 decades later, the true cause of what happened in that Riverside emergency room still remains unsolved. The official paperwork on Gloria Ramirez's death simply lists cancer and organ failure. Those were the conditions that ultimately ended her life. But that explanation does not answer the most haunting question. Why did more than 20 healthy doctors and nurses collapse while treating her? The staff in that ER were experienced professionals, people who had seen trauma, dealt with contagious diseases, handled emergencies for years. Yet nothing in their training could explain what they encountered that night. Some of them, like Nurse Susan Kane, described the moment they started to feel dizzy, as if the air itself had turned against them. Others remember the smell of a sharp, almost metallic or ammonia-like odor that made their throats burn. Several suffered long-term health effects, including lingering breathing problems and chronic fatigue. For Gloria's family, these mysteries have been a constant source of pain. They believe Gloria was treated unfairly in the media, turned into a headline, the toxic woman, rather than remembered as a person, a mother of 2, who was desperately fighting for her life. Gloria's story is a tragic reminder that behind every headline and every unsolved case, there is a real human being, a mother, a daughter, a person who deserved answers. So what really happened to Gloria Ramirez? Was it a bizarre chemical reaction, a mass psychogenic event, or something we still don't understand? Perhaps we may never know, but her story continues to fascinate and haunt both scientists and the public. A reminder that even in our age of advanced medicine, nature can still surprise us. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as intriguing as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dive documentaries into history's most puzzling mysteries.